St. Alphonsus, Ontario has been serving the needs of this community since 1911. The brave Dominican sisters who founded this hospital left a legacy of compassion. Their mission to serve this community has been passed on for over 100 years, and we are proud to say that we have delivered over 60,000 babies, caring for our community's newest and most fragile members. Medicine has advanced since those early years, but the dedication is no different.
I started working in OB in 1960. We were quite busy then because we didn't have all the disposable items that they have now, and we had to sterilize everything and make our own formula, and so it was a lot of work. In those days, they didn't allow fathers in the delivery room, and when they did change that policy, they had to go through the prenatal classes to be able to join their wives during the delivery.
Anybody who's been in obstetrics know that there's waves. Sometimes you're fairly slow, sometimes you're just inundated. One of these times when we were the women were coming out of the woodwork. Delivery, they were coming in, we had 2 rooms, we were couldn't get them cleaned up, and Sister Raphael, who was the OB nun, she was there 24/7. I think she had probably attended every delivery day and night for years and years. She was behind me while I was doing the delivery, and she was getting panicky because couldn't keep up with it. And she said, "Dr. Daniels," she said, "I think the Mormons are having a race with the Catholics, and I think the Mormons are winning."
Initially, when I came here, there were doctors doing labor and delivery management, and these were the family doctors who were excellent. We did bring in, I'm sure, new methods and different ways of maybe doing things. Boy, but the job that had been done here really was outstanding.
Because when I started, the husbands weren't really involved. They sort of brought the gals in and could sort of hang around a little bit, but they were sort of put aside and they weren't allowed in the delivery room. And so Dr. Sigurdsson, when he came, started transitioning to where it was much more family-oriented. And he, sort of over the objections of some of the old-timers, started letting husbands in the delivery room, and by golly, it was okay.
The staff at St. Alphonsus in Ontario are dedicated beyond words, and being alongside our families during such a special time is an honor.
You know, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I still get teary watching dads hold babies and tears run down their cheeks. It's pretty amazing. It's just it's such an incredibly rewarding experience.
I have a memory of a patient the mother was in her 40s. So she had a daughter that was about 12, I think. And I was helping her mother. She had just had a C-section, and I was helping her go to the bathroom and helped her shower. And her daughter, after I was done and I left the room, she came over to the nurse's station and she handed me a Pepsi, and she said that she just really appreciated me taking care of her mom. And, you know, that was wonderful. It made it all worth it. Just, you know, that I touched, you know, the older daughter. And I remember it being a really busy day. And then years later, that same daughter was in the cafeteria, and she came up to me and she said, "You're Diana, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, she goes, I remember you took care of my mom, and I'll never forget it, how nice you were to her."
St. Alphonsus in Ontario is the only hospital staffed with obstetricians and pediatricians in Malheur County. Due to the hospital's location, St. Alphonsus, Ontario is a lifeline for those living in our most rural communities and has a number of pregnant women brought to the facility in desperate need of immediate delivery. With this remodel, the hospital has the opportunity to create a modern obstetrical operating room that would give a safe start to the life of our newest and most fragile community members.
Of course, it's a benefit to have a labor and delivery unit, close to home. There's so many other services that are provided to our patients, whether it's, heart care, for example, or a cancer center, and we do need a labor and delivery unit where these, patients can be close to home, close to their families, can have their babies, and they don't have to travel.
Being able to do every bit of the care for the baby and then in the room with the parents is going to be amazing. Being able to teach moms how to give baths, things like that, that right now there's not enough space for that to happen.
Many high-risk patients come in and need critical things taken care of for them, and if they were another 30 plus minutes away, there could be babies and moms that may not make it. So this is certainly a very important facility for this part of the world.
It's going to help quicken the process when it's needed, when it's called for. I mean, that sometimes you have to get back there immediately. Baby's got to be delivered. You need to have the equipment available and ready. It needs to be working.
And although we have proudly served for over 100 years, the unit and its equipment are in great need of an upgrade.
We're always thinking about the safety of the patient and the safety of the brand new baby, and the ability for the nurses to maneuver a lot more smoothly, and the transition to be able to care for the baby, for the pediatricians to be able, and the nurses to attend to that newborn would be a lot more smoother and easier with the new renovation.
Having a upgraded obstetrical unit is one of the best things a hospital can have. One of the philosophies of is if the woman comes to your hospital, has a good experience, then she will probably influence whether members of her family come to this hospital and hopefully have a good experience also.
I am really excited to have brand new rooms, brand new equipment, and I think when our patients come in and see this new unit, they're going to love it.
It is difficult to maneuver around that OR currently. I mean, you have a couple of twins that you have to deliver, and it's almost impossible. And trying to stay sterile and make sure you're not touching any other person. I mean, that in and of itself is going to make it a lot safer.
It is a locked unit, but it's very difficult to monitor who comes and goes. If anyone walks in behind someone, it's not necessarily going to be noticed. The new configuration, you've got somebody with eyes on at the door all the time, and there's only going to be one door that's going to be accessible to public, which will make a huge difference for safety factor.
The impact of this remodel reaches far beyond aesthetics. Bringing a baby into the world is the most precious and magical time of a person's life. From their first breath, our children have a way of changing our lives forever, and we want to ensure each mom and baby have access to the best care and most comfortable environment possible. We are proud of this investment and honored to serve this community and your growing families.